Hi, I'm Don. I just wanted to welcome you to my channel. I'm going to be discussing all types of art things. I run businesses online. I have another channel called The Auction Professor where we talk about the platforms that we sell on as well. This channel is just going to center in on arts, crafts, fine arts as well, animation and things like that you can actually make money doing. Everything that I do is done online or through online means, and we sell everything that we talk about and do as well. I've been an artist professional-wise for pretty much since I was about 14. My first paid commission was German Christmas cards that I made for family members. Back in the day, you couldn't just buy a card in a different language, so I created them for people locally, for a German church and things like that. So that's my first foray into money. At one time, I did Disney illustrations for a promoter who did movie and collectibles shows. I did hundreds of these. I made thousands of dollars. I wasn't even an adult or legally, technically able to work at the time, but I made a lot of money doing that until Disney showed up at one of the conventions he was doing and confiscated the stuff and gave him a cease and desist letter because obviously I was a minor. I didn't have permission to do it. When I was 15, 16, I was doing portraits. In my time frame, I've probably done 600 or 700 sketched portraits in either pencil, graphite, or charcoal. That was a big thing that I did for a while. Later on, when I moved out from my home, I moved to Florida, and I worked at Disney for a little while. I just took an entry-level job. As I progressed there, I applied for animation department. I went through the entire process. Got to sit in animation. They had my portfolio. It's a 6-month process back then in the day. I got to sit and talk. I went through several interviews. The last one that I went and sat with in the animation department, they actually recommended me taking some classes, which I did, and Disney paid for them, mind you, life drawing classes at Valencia. It's a community college. I did take some classes at UCF as well. I did the life drawing class. I hated it initially. And at college, I literally did a lot of life drawing. This is literally one of my assignments from, 30 years ago. This is from like 93, maybe, somewhere in that range. I have saved a few of them just because that's something that you do. From that point on, was offered a few things with the teacher. I displayed. Some of my works were published on postcards. In this same time frame, Disney offered me to paint some murals for them in the Magic Kingdom for Disney itself. Here's literally one of the pieces that I started on. This is me in 93 or 94 probably in the Magic Kingdom painting a mural for them. It's one of the larger pieces that I did. This one was about 20 some odd feet. It's still there to this day, and you can still see the work. Disney's now framed it in under glass. Here's another one farther along. For this assignment I actually worked with Fran Kirsten from Ink and Paint. She worked in animation. She was literally head of Ink and Paint. They supplied all of the color codes for all of these characters. I got to sit down there and see character models and sheets and things along that line of all the characters, and they, again, as I said, supplied me with matching paint that was special mixed up for me. It was vinyl paint, same paint that they used on painting the cells back in the day. Now they don't paint cells, but Fran Kirsten was very instrumental in helping me with this. She remembered me from the application and the interviews I did with animation, so I did a lot of this stuff at Disney. From here, I moved on to shows, juried events. Literally after the interviews and discussing things with Fran Kirsten and some of the other folks through the animation department, I'm a graphic artist in fine arts. That's what I learned from a lot of these experiences. So that's literally where I steered myself from this point on. I did a lot of juried shows from that point on, county shows, state shows, Festival of the Masters through Disney and things like that. Here's one of my placed events. I placed first, second, and third in many of them. This is just a simple pencil sketch. I actually paid for a lot of my college time through some of the purchases and arts that I did. The Maitland Art Center, which is a museum in Maitland, Florida, owns several pieces. Valencia owns some pieces as well. I was part of the state purchase program in Florida when I was there. This is just one of the examples. I did a lot of art and illustrations back in the day. some experience. I was published in magazines. I have some newspaper articles and things on me. Here's another example of one of my juried pieces. These mostly took first, second, third places in state competitions that I did. Back in the day, you had to have money. I was just borderline breaking into the industry back then. I did oil paintings for a while also. This one here was on the front page of the Orlando Sentinel. I did juried shows. I did production shows and things along that line. I was married at Disney. I've been married for over 20 years. I have 2 kids. And again, I do a lot of stuff these days through online marketing and online sales. These days, though, I do prints and things of my artwork. Here's an example here. I do fantasy, sci-fi. I do crafts, arts, all kinds of things that I'll show you how to do. One of the series I'll be doing will be covering how to cast sterling and gold jewelry. We're going to go to a jeweler's, and we're going to show you start to finish how to sand cast and lost wax casting and the whole works, start to finish. We're going to show you the inside workings. We're going to show you how they sell stuff, how they market it as well. We're going to show you all kinds of stuff, glass blowing, local arts, theaters, and things along that line. We may even touch on some musicians that are local here as well. I'm going to show you a lot of how-tos. How to make Christmas ornaments is coming up really quickly here. I'll have several videos or unique demonstrations on that. As you saw, the first video was just a sketch. I have another example of that same sketch coming out, which will explain some of the processes and show you the items that I use to produce that as well. So if you want to see some interesting things that you can make money on and just art in general, stay tuned and check back. Subscribe to my channel. And if you like selling things online on eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and like collectibles and vintage items, subscribe to my other channel, The Auction Professor. I do have links down below that will take you to my other channels, so if you want to see some interesting content, check it out. I have more than 10,000 subscribers on my other channel. Hopefully we'll get there on this channel as well, but I can promise you some interesting and unique items that I will show you. We do all kinds of stuff, all the way down to action figures that we created ourselves, resin casting, sculptures, all kinds of things that we do. If you enjoyed the video, just hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.
This is
I'd have a field day playing around with all this.
we have 3 jewelers that work for us full-time. This is some of the manufacturing that we do. This is Victorian reproductions.
Yeah, I can tell it's rose gold. That would be the technical
and then
term.
we're going to oxidize it, make it look a little older, and I sell these to antique dealers. This is a laser welder. This is the latest technology for soldering.
Wow.
Saves a lot of time. We can make 500 to 600 rings easily.
Can I?
This is a magnetic disc finisher. The old times you used to tumble it to get the rings, somewhat smooth. This has
metal
a media
ball.
in it.
Okay, I was just going to say whether it was metal or
what
ceramic. It looks like.
In 20 minutes, it'll take what the other one took 24 hours. This is a tree. This has probably got 100 different rings in it. These are the old styles.
And they're all hand glued on there, or hand melted,
yes.
attached, yeah.
But we got the system down. I mean, we can do
I would say
5
so.
of these in a half a day.